15-16. Hello and welcome to Sunday Night Heat. We are back. Took a week off last week. I know. Sue me. Started a little bit late tonight, but we just I had to watch a movie with the family. One we haven't seen in a while. We'll talk about that. But let's introduce the panel. I'm not sure if monoTony is joining us. Hopefully he'll slide in here. Like so many of these weirdos doing my DMs on Instagram, but that's another story altogether. AngelousDraven is here this evening. What's up, Draven?
Hey, I'm doing good, you know. Speaking of weirdos going into my DMs, like, I've had that on Facebook, you know, a couple times, so, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was so mad about my own Facebook.
I don't like comments that I make, so they DM me, calling me a psychopath.
I tell you what, if you were a psychopath, you wouldn't have stayed in my house a couple times. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I know Draven's not crazy. Well, at least he's not crazier than I am. But good to have you, brother. Good to have you.
Yeah, good to be here.
And we are also joined by Sith Lord Felix, the channel Starface. Welcome, brother.
Ooh, hey! Thank you so much for having me again, man. I absolutely love being here.
Hey, man, we're always happy to have you, bro. Always happy to have you.
And unlike you, Sue, I'm crazy as... No, I'll stop. I'm really not, actually. I just have to talk a big game.
It happens that way. It happens that way. Shit. But no, man, good to have you as always. And we watched Mars Attacks.
Beautiful.
Which I bought on Blu-ray here. Let me embiggen here. Yeah, I got this on Blu-ray, Walmart for like, I don't know, like I said, about $10. But yeah, this movie has a hell of a cast to it, as you can see here. Yeah, it's a nice disc. I didn't really look at the extra features. I didn't want to like delve that deep into it, because I wanted to stream here. But what up, Gap and Godzillionaire and Keely Chow? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, that movie, Jesus. Like I said, I saw it in the theater. It's sitting right now, 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb, a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Criminal.
Very, very criminal. A Tim Burton movie, and I'd forgotten that this was a Tim Burton movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tim Burton, outstanding cast. I don't know, like 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm trying to think of like movies that are clearly worse that are rated higher on Rotten Tomatoes. You know, like probably like The Last Jedi is probably like 57 for all we know. And actually, I think that one's probably gone down. But like clearly worse movies. Guys, if you haven't seen Mars Attacks, you know, definitely check your brain at the door, but it's a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was telling you before the show, I actually got to go see the movie before it hit the theaters. Like, I think like a full month when they were doing like, I guess either a test screening or whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? Sometimes they would do that around from Jersey. So like I went to the Sea Caucus to go see it. It was a fun time.
Yep, this is one I saw with I'm trying to think if it was with my girlfriend at the time, in the theater. And like I said, going in there, like I was 16 when this came out, and I love these movies, and I want to find the exact release date for this, because this one was released the same year as, wasn't it, December 13th, 96. Men in Black came out in the summer of 96. No, that was Independence Day. This came out the same year as Independence Day.
Right. That's right. And Men in Black was a year after, I think, right?
Yeah, Men in Black was 97. 97. Yeah, that was my senior year. But yeah, this just you were talking about Rotten Tomatoes and the comparison. The Last Jedi was brought up. The critics have The Last Jedi at 91%. Okay.
That is absolutely criminal. That tells you everything you need to know.
The audience score, however, is 41% for The Last
41%. What a generous, lovely crowd.
Right.
To be so gracious to give them to give Last Jedi 41%. And it should be like a 14%. Got those numbers mixed.
If it was only based on visuals, I could say a 41%, but unfortunately there's horrible writing and bad characters in there as well.
If you haven't watched the originals, I could see how people would get that, like aren't I could see that, but overall was pretty bad. Yeah.
How shallow were we in the 90s where okay, well, Independence Day came out, so we're not allowed to like Independence Day and Mars Attacks, even though they were two different movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Again, guys, we were so spoiled in the 90s. Like, if y'all grew up in the 90s, you know what I'm talking about.
Even
now,
in the 80s, like,
oh,
you had Monster Squad and Lost Boys that came out in the same year.
Come on.
So, like, and Monster Squad got overlooked because of that.
Dude, you're talking about 1987. You forgot RoboCop, Nightmare on Elm Street 3. We'll pull up a list of 1987 movie releases, but this is the cast, okay? For Mars Attacks, the main cast. We had Jack Nicholson playing a dual role. He played the president and the casino owner. Glenn Close, Annette Bening, Pierce Brosnan, Danny DeVito, Martin Short, Sarah Jessica Parker, Michael J. Fox, Rod Steiger, Tom Jones, Lucas Haas, Natalie Portman, Jim Brown, Lisa Marie, and Sylvia Sidney.
And Leslie Jones. No, wait, no, she wasn't in that. No, I'm sorry. I don't know why did I say that? No. What a fucking cast, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this was released on December 13th, 1996. The budget was 80. It reports at 80 to 100 million, and box office was 101.4 million. So,
yikes!
I can't believe that this movie didn't do better at the box. Honestly, I always thought this one did all right. It's surprising that it didn't. With that cast, but this is why movies like this get looked back at and they develop a cult following. Because it's way better than it got credit for at the time.
Yeah, that's why they live. They live criminally underrated or underperformed at the box office. But if you look into that story, that one they intentionally pulled out of the theater. Because I don't know, because maybe it was really a documentary, and it should have said documentary instead of fiction. But there was like things working against that. But the point is it definitely developed a cult following after the fact. Yep.
And They Live came out. That was 1984, correct?
I think that was actually 87 too.
Was it 87?
Maybe. Could be. I'm gonna look it up right now.
I think I have that mixed up with The Thing.
88.
They
Live is 88.
Okay. Yeah. So They Live came out in 88, which is the year that Bush Jr. or Senior got elected. You're coming off you're in the post-Reagan years, and looking at that through the lens of consumerism, Ronald Reagan was the one that lifted the advertising regulations to children, which allowed us to have such awesome cartoons in the 80s. Mm-hmm. So that was such a commentary on the consumerism of the 80s. And it's just an awesome movie. What up, Tony?
Hey, there he is.
Good to see you, brother.
I blame the goddamn Jews.
That's right. The
Jews. With the ancient conspiracy bullshit again. You think the Jews have time to control the weather, the banks, and your uncle's erectile dysfunction? Blame the real culprits. Dudes jerking off into the wind for clout on TikTok, and politicians who think taxes are just a suggestion. If you're going to point fingers, at least aim at the assholes who put pineapple on pizza. That's a war crime. Want me to start a petition to ban circumcisions with a side of matzo ball soup? Or are you just going to keep jerking off to outdated propaganda?
Thank you, Julexa. What a great answer.
Oh, look, Joe's feeding them pennies.
Oh, somebody take a picture.
They actually recorded the implosion of the Landmark Hotel, which I miss dearly, and I used that in Mars Attacks.
That was in
nice.
the ending sequence when I'm trying to think which is that the one that's the one the flying saucer hits. I'm pretty sure that's it.
It's in Vegas. They shoot it down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's been forever, man. It's been forever.
Yeah.
I need to watch that movie again. It's been too long.
You'll appreciate it, Tone, being is that you live there, because that's 1996. It was shot in probably 94, 95. And so much of old Las Vegas is in there, which I only know because my aunt and uncle used to go there, 3-4 times a year for vacation when we were, when I was young, and they would always, I'd see the pictures and stuff like that because my cousins got to go. But yeah, and my grandma went because she liked to gamble too. But yeah, that was it's like I love those.
Better place.
It's a time capsule.
That was like, and it's kind of like, the Landmark gone is kind of like the end of old Las Vegas, and suddenly all the old casinos started getting imploded, and they started building up all the new ones, and now it's just not the same.
Yes.
It was definitely like I was around for the end of the golden era, basically, in my childhood, and I miss those days.
Well, which of course now we got to say, guys, if anybody has, I'm sure everyone has seen Casino, but that definitely portrays that movie Casino by Martin Scorsese. Definitely kind of covers that end period of Las Vegas.
I've never seen it.
They filmed Casino at the Riviera where my dad was dealing at the time, and he actually had to put on a fake name tag and all that just in case they caught him in the background. But I remember that, and like he had to wear a different, because he'd usually wear a suit to work, but he had to wear a different uniform to work for a few months during production in the casino.
Yeah.
He had a name. He's Jewish. He had a name tag that said Rodriguez on it. Okay.
I mean, hola.
Fucking Russian Jew, and it says Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Hello, hola, hermano.
Yeah, shalom, carnal.
Shalom, carnal. Hey.
Well, it's funny because my grandma was married to a lawyer out here, and they used to go because Las Vegas used to be a smaller town outside of the strip, and they used to go to this place called the Press Club, and she told me there was an evil man who went there who put someone's head in a vice. And I was so young, I didn't even know what a vice was, but she's like, he is a bad man. And she was talking about Tony Spilatro, who Joe Pesci portrayed in the movie.
Charlie M? You made me pop your eyeball out of your socket for that piece of shit?
Yeah, that's a true story. The Vice thing, it really happened. Like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
When they were
even if no one admitted it, you just know in your head that shit really happened. You know what I mean? Like in that scene.
Yeah. Well, Pete, when you were out here and we went up to Red Rock, and like we were far out on the west side of town, and we stopped at that Albertsons and stuff. That's all Summerlin, and that was all built in like the mid to late 90s. And when they were excavating and leveling out the land and shit, they kept digging up bodies from like the 70s and 80s because that was the desert back then. They drive people out there and fucking bury them, you know?
No, the Meadowlands.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was right by there, man. I grew up right by there.
I was gonna say, Tone, my neighbor, I told you, her daughter was here. She's from Las Vegas. And yeah, she was talking, she was, yeah, we don't really have anything because we were out in the lake, and she's like, we don't really have anything like this other than Lake Mead. I'm like, oh, you mean where they keep finding bodies? She kind of laughed. She laughed. She's like, yeah.
You gotta go to the Colorado River and go like upstream from Lake Mead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What is this? Oh, Jewish Rodriguez.
He's running for president of Mexico.
I know, man. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I've entered votes.
Can you confirm this? Aren't a bunch of bodies showing up in Lake Mead during droughts?
Right. I know that there was a bad drought this year, right? Or either last year or this summer. I want to say actually it was last summer, but I don't know if it was Lake Mead. It was in Vegas.
Dude, there's always a fucking bad drought out here.
Wasn't there that lake that's like almost dried up or whatever too?
Yeah.
Mead.
Yeah.
Is that Mead?
Yeah.
It wasn't Lake Mead?
It's always like each year it's like lower and lower.
Lake Mead is man-made.
That's why.
They created it, and then they fucking, had the Colorado River basically fill it up. But I mean, that's the thing too. Number one, it's fucked up out here. We have the Southern Nevada Water Authority, and they like use Uncle H like tactics, man. They're driving around in like sign trucks, report if you see your neighbor watering their lawn on Wednesday. Like, fuck you, dude. They just want to water their fucking grass. Like, yeah, it's like Las Vegas, like I said, when I was growing up, it was a smaller town outside of the Strip. It's not supposed to be like this metropolis. If it wasn't for modern day technology and like the dozens or hundreds of lives lost building the Hoover Dam and shit, like society wouldn't be able to survive out here on this scale. Las Vegas before all this was like a train stop on the way to Los Angeles. So it's not meant to like support this many people. So yeah, that's basically what it is. I mean, and even then we turn around and sell our fucking water to California so they don't have to endanger the life of some kind of algae.
But yeah, or some minnow, right? Or what is it? Some baby, some baby fish, fucking that no one gives a shit about, that no one eats, like no one needs.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, what is Cap saying?
We get turned in if you pee on your grass.
I'll pee on you. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's a whole different charge. Then you gotta go door to door after that one.
Out hanging brain, telling your neighbors, "Sorry, I was watering my lawn. I'm now registered by law to tell you this."
Yeah, you'll be listening to the radio and. Do you know someone who is watering their lawn between noon and 6 p.m. on Sunday? Like it's fun. Like,
yeah.
Stop diddling children and turn them in for watering their lawn. Jesus,
damn, motherfuckers go hard.
Yeah, right.
God damn.
Yeah, put it away. And
I hate to do it already. Hello, Thanos.
Yeah.
We fucked up. we fucked up, Thanos. We didn't appreciate you.
Yeah. Right.
Wait,
snap it back.
I can fix this. Hang on. I have to go to the prop box.
While tagging the 7 Vietnamese hookers in your basement, did you notice someone taking a drink from the spigot?
Yeah, right.
Oh, the Southern Nevada Water Authority.
Yeah. Get out of your white van and go to your nearest payphone and call the authorities.
That's it. We're done. That's it. I'm
I'm
fucking doing it. Oh, motherfuckers thought I was kidding.
Yeah, right.
Damn it!
Oh,
damn!
No shit.
Yeah, right. Now everyone dies.
Now the rubber's stuck to my hand. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Jeez.
Oh my God, help me. Yeah, when I was out there, Tone, and me and the wife were walking around Fremont Street, and we were walking into the various shops. All I heard was, what the fuck was the guy running for governor again? Was it Lombardo that was running against Sisolak?
Oh, for governor, yeah.
Yeah, that was 2022. I was out there. That was the first year we lived in the house. Yeah, because we came out that like October. Yeah, it was. Yeah, all these ads for Lombardo. Who the fuck is he? Governor?
Yeah, he's governor.
He's governor now.
He was the sheriff of Clark County when he was running. Now he's governor.
Was he the one that was like changing his tune every 2 days after the shooting? Yeah, that's where I remember him from. Is that motherfucker would like he was saying one thing one day, and then the next day it was a completely different fucking narrative.
He was the first one that came out. Like everyone, I knew people at the shooting, and everyone's like watching that shit go down live, like multiple calipers being heard firing and like guns firing at the same time. And then it came out, well, there was only one gunman. Like that was all him, and he's the one that kept changing his tune. And yeah.
And
I'm starting to think these politicians are full of shit. I don't know.
Yeah, when he was paid off, and then before he was paid off.
Yeah. That's oh God, yeah, that thing. Well, that whole thing. It was. Remember the videos were disappearing when you would DM them to somebody.
Yeah,
the videos
or the different muzzle flashes and shit from all over. Like, yeah.
And growing up around firearms the way I have, it's like I've seen and I've shot at, police department pistol ranges before with different caliber weapons, both semi and fully automatic. And there's all different kinds of muzzles. I'm by no means a firearms expert, but you can tell varying calibers by a muzzle flash.
Yeah, keep that dick over here. Okay, let's go.
Not to mention just the sound, dude. Like,
and
knowing people that were there that were saying there were people on the ground. Like, yeah.
And them saying, oh, well, he had, was it Stephen Paddock was the guy that they basically was the Lee Harvey Oswald of this entire thing was Stephen Paddock.
We know just as much about him as we do about Tyler Crooks or whatever his fucking name is. Butler, PA.
Yeah.
Forget about it,
Boy, did they sweep that one under the rug.
Oh, yeah. And Cruz is trying to say that whatever, but then it's in, what is it?
With Tucker Carlson?
Tucker Carlson is like, well, then why aren't we if they want to, take out our president, then why aren't we, boots on the ground?
Why are we full blown war with Iran right now, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, well, they're not exact. It's like, dude, they are or they aren't. Like,
and how is this not going to ruin his career?
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? How is this not going to ruin his career? Because we know it's not. Somehow he's probably still going to get reelected again or whatever the fuck. Right? He's not under term limits. This
defended APAC too.
Come on, yeah, but I mean, that's a serious level of being exposed and embarrassed. Like, I put it out. Like, remember? I don't know if you followed that Dave Smith and Douglas Murray debate where he was like, "Have you ever been to Israel? Have you ever been?" I don't know if you guys follow that. And he embarrassed himself on Joe Rogan's show. And pretty much he fell apart. Ben Carson, right? Or is it Ben Carson? Billy Carson. He was like the black guy who was talking about the Emerald tablets and shit. And then Wes Huff came and spanked him on the debate. And his career is almost, it's in a coma if it's not dead. He's totally exposed. It was beautiful to see.
Yes.
But the point is that we're not going to get that same level of luck with Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! Like he really showed who he was in 2016, and then he was smart enough to see which way the wind was blowing and jumped on board. But
yeah. Ted Cruz. The one thing I can say is a good legal mind, but as a politician, no, you fail, sir. You fail miserably. And he's another one. He's just another bought and paid for piece of garbage, just like the rest of them.
Like, I'm becoming more of a monarchist by the day.
Oh,
I can't disagree with you.
Yeah. Give me a good Christian monarch and I'll be good to go.
Right?
Yep.
I would.
I'm all set.
And why? Deus Vult. God wills it, my friends. God wills it.
That's right.
It might be time for another crusade.
I know. Oh, yeah. Shit. Look at the last ones. And I don't know if you guys know. This is going to get real crazy. I'm sorry, guys. But it's just, I've been taught most of my life, most of my youth, how horrible the Crusades were and the Inquisition and stuff like that. And I've actually been doing a dive on it recently. Got to go deeper, don't get me wrong. That's what she said. But I still, it's definitely not the atrocity that they try to paint.
Yeah.
You know, like there is, you know what I'm saying? Like the Crusades weren't, like the Christians weren't like this evil bunch. Like the schools kind of insisted for most of my years.
I don't know your age, Felix, but
44.
Like, okay, so at 43. So we were some of the first batch to go through the Department of Education. So we're going to school hearing about how Native Americans were an enlightened, peaceful people who never ever got sick once until the white man came.
That's right.
We just slaughtered them, and then we were so mean and like slavery and this and that. Like I remember sitting in 4th grade, like thinking, Jesus, white people are evil. Like they're going through all the evils. But point is, we were brought up to not even question certain things. Like what? Like okay, maybe Uncle H committed some atrocities, but how was he duly elected? What happened there? You're never taught to question that. Same thing with the Crusades or monarchy. We're just automatically taught, okay, king's bad.
Even,
you know, and now
even the Salem witch trials, like that as well. Yeah. It wasn't just women that were, you know, accused of being witches. It was men as well.
Yeah.
Oh no, and probably legit. Yeah, and probably legit pagans and like crazy like voodoo. You know what I'm saying? Like weird Satanists. You know, there was legit people in there that got burned too. I refuse to believe that it was just this craze and only innocent people died there.
Yep.
Yeah. They tried to form our minds to just automatically believe certain things are bad without ever questioning why. And there's always, you always have to ask why. There's always more to the story than, you know, if you ask my sister who's completely bought into the propaganda, she'll tell you certain bad people in charge of countries in the past just got up on the podium and was, man, I'm a bad guy. And then the people were just, yes, vote for the bad guy. Like, no, there's nuance and subtleties to everything.
Yeah. You have to.
In school, we just got the cliff notes, basically.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's propaganda. It's all state endorsed propaganda. And with old the failed Austrian painter, yeah, he didn't just come to power one day and like you said, he's up there like twirling his little tiny mustache, you know, flipping a nickel with a toothpick hanging out of his mouth, leaning against the yeah, he's fucking Wario, you know. But no, I mean, you think he had to win? He won an election. He was duly elected. He had to establish his cabinet around him. And I mean, one of those positions, the Minister of Propaganda, Joseph Goebbels. And it's funny because Goebbels was a master of propaganda for his time. He was. I mean, that was
his last administration. Literally hired a propagandist.
I was going to say
Asian in the world, like,
and
now what you want about them, they're smart.
No, and that's what I'm saying. And our democracy, we have the same thing, and it's just called the media, and it's hilarious to see parallels, and then you get called, you know, the Yahtzee for not buying into the bullshit when you're like, what? Wait a minute. Like, I you know, it's.
And let's be real. Them uniforms. No, I'm kidding. No, but
they were crisp. They were crisp.
When did you ever hear the term Weimar Germany in public school? They never told you that part. I'll tell you, I'll gladly take a smallpox blanket over a monkeypox blanket.
And they also never told you what books they were burning. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
If you ever found out the books they were burning, a lot of ears would perk up. That's interesting.
Degenerate stuff.
Yep. And this is getting really, really close. Like, I think by the end of this, we're all going to be like full blown American History X.
I've seen people like Pete. You and I are in a group chat with someone who just a few years ago was like, "Yeah, I don't like all this woke stuff, but you don't have to be racist either." And now they're just full on like,
yeah,
they didn't tell us the real history of Germany. Like,
I wish I gotta see. I wish I could find this, but there's a meme of like it's Ed Norton meme where it's like it's Ed Norton in
From
like in 26. Yeah, like he's slowly morphing into American History X, and it was like in 2016. I was like, oh, the Republicans are racist. It was like by 2018, wow, the Democrats are the real racists. And it was like by 2020, I was like, I am racist. You know? And I'm like, man, if you can find it, you can share it. It's, I don't know, it's a classic, man. But I was like, God, I can kind of relate. I'm kind of there. You know,
I saw this other meme of it said Republicans with the time machine, and it has like the Wojak with the red hat on to the founding fathers, and he's like, "You guys won't believe it. Democrats are the real racists." And the founding fathers said, "Who's this expletive lover?"
Jesus Christ. What?
Oh, man. We gotta find these, man.
Well, speaking of like things like that, on Facebook, I got a bunch of my stuff flagged, and it was just me pointing out that basically the rainbow was co-opted by the LGBT community and stuff, and then the other one was something similar but slightly different, and they flagged them, and I basically got them put back up. Because I said it was important and it wasn't bull. They tried to say it was harassment. And it's like, what the hell? That isn't how harassment works. Like, that's not how this works.
Yeah. And let's be real. Yeah, because you said it was co-opted. Now, maybe I think we're in agreement here, but if not, you can tell the difference. But basically, for those who are just listening, they co-opted this from God's promise, right? Like, this is funny because God flooded the earth for degeneracy, all right, we'll just leave it at that, and promise not to flood the world again with the sign of the rainbow. And now fast forward to this movement, they co-opted the rainbow as almost like a challenge, a line in the sand. It's like, you promised not to drown us. Look at what we're doing. You're not going to drown us. But anyone who understands the creed is like, it'll be he's coming back by fire anyway. But I guess I don't know. We'll see. There it is.
Pete, I sent one to YouTube, but it might be too hardcore. I don't know.
Share it to me as some other way if you can't put it on the screen, but I got to see it too.
Oh my God.
Oh, now this ain't cool, man. You got to send that shit on Twitter.
I'll send it on Twitter.
Yes.
It's literally the Uno reverse card. That's what they did, like, try to do to us.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh man, I'm such a dude. I need to learn how to promote. I'm here just looking at your notification. All right. I'm looking. Are you sending it now?
I gotta pull it up here. Hang on, I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Stop the show. No,
I can multitask somewhat.
So Godzillionaire, he had a great comment. Did you put it up where he was like, he said something about what was it, about the smallpox? And I was gonna mention this too.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, smallpox. Basically, the conquerors came and gave Native American smallpox on purpose, and this was years before germ theory was understood. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Wait, we have a clip for that. It's the only time I ever get to play this clip.
The #1 song for the 10,000th week in a row. Hiya, hiya, hiya.
Hiya, 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 hiya.
It's just me. Oh, I'm looking at this meme. Yeah, it's too bad they can't show it.
What up,
This
Biscuit?
is glorious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Trump, but it's just funny as shit.
So true. Yeah.
I'll send it to you, Draven.
All right.
I may have sent it the other day, but there it is.
Yeah, here we are.
What
Hey guys, we're sharing memes and you can't see.
Wow.
What up, Carl?
Oh yeah, you sent me that earlier.
Set up a Discord.
Yeah, we need to start a Discord here.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yes.
We could do that. Draven's been yelling at me about
Draven tried.
What did I
Years
do?
ago, we're like, no. Tried to set up a Discord for us, and we're like, no.
We're like, no.
Sure.
Hey, speaking of memes, this is kind of funny. Hang on a second. Let me pull this up right here because I've been in this situation. This is how I look at my girl while I'm hugging her dad. So she knows who's really her daddy now.
I literally laughed when Nate did this part because it's fucking hilarious. It's like, I get it's wrestling and it's it's not serious, but it was just so they zoom in on his face and it's like, okay, he's gonna fuck him over. We get it.
Yep. Yeah. We knew how that was gonna go. Yeah, that's as awkward as when we're at family dinner at my in-laws' house and my wife's like, Daddy, would you pass the salt? And me and her father both reach for it, and I'm like, no.
You're right.
Nah, mine.
Bad call. God, I'm dying. I'm done with this meme, man. This is too much.
Fuck.
In a good way. I need more, but that's a whole other thing. All right, so what else we got?
I sent another one, Pete, but it might be too much.
Let me see. Let's see.
You are gonna set up a Discord? Is that what I got?
Do I need
No, I'm sharing this.
It's not as bad.
Hey, Paul. Sorry. Hey, Churchill. Oh, man.
Oh.
I want to see Winston Churchill's business card.
What's up, Carl? How you doing, man? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Jesus. I don't know what to say after that one.
I know, yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know how to follow that up.
We went from Mars attacks to the Fourth Reich real quick.
Yeah.
What a fucking Sunday night heat stream. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this on the playback, I have no affiliation with this stream whatsoever.
That's such a lie.
Fuck you, Draven.
Yeah, right. No, I'm just kidding. No,
at least I have a little more of a tan now.
Yeah, right.
I worked on that this weekend.
I might have to start bleaching my skin after this conversation just to make sure you guys don't hate me. Might be a little too dark. Yeah, never speak Spanish around you guys ever.
First thing he comes out, hola chingada.
Oye, chicos.
No más.
Yeah, right. Legal, soy legal. Never.
I don't know where to go from this. I have no.
I know, right?
I totally lost everything. It's just.
Well, it's funny because most of like I make jokes and shit, but most of my Mexican friends are hardcore with this shit. I'm like, damn, dude. Yeah. Fucking Spaniards don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah, no. We're not sensitive like
nope.
Other certain people.
One of my brother-in-laws and Draven Tony knows one of my brother-in-laws is he's Colombian, right? The other one's Mexican. And my Colombian brother-in-law, he's a little guy, right? He's from Cali, Colombia originally. And he met my sister when they were at university. And the first time I met him was a couple days before my wedding. And I'm working out in the backyard and I'm chopping down some fucking brush. I got a big ass machete on my hip. And he comes out in the backyard to meet me. And my sister introduces me to him. I shook his hand and I was like, walk with me, Donnie, walk with me. And we're walking and we're talking and shit, And he'd been with my sister for about a year or two. I hadn't met him yet because they live down south. And I was like, you're from Colombia, right? He goes, yeah. I'm like, so you're familiar with Colombian neckties? The motherfucker looks at me. I'm like, you ever hurt my sister? I'll give you a custom fitted one. I said, as long as you never fucking hurt my sister, you're fine in my book. The middle one I didn't give a shit about. She's fine. But the young one, that's the one. That's the one. But her husband is like the nicest guy. They've been married for years now. Super cool guy. But yeah, that was the first time we met. I'm like, nope, I'm establishing dominance now. Fuck this.
That's it. You got to just do it one time. You got to do it one time.
She says to me later on this, what the fuck did you say to him? I'm like, nothing. I just
pulls him aside. Yeah. What do you think of Tiny Mustache Man? Let's everything hinges on this question.
Yeah. Do you like painters from Austria that never quite made it?
Yeah, right. What do you think of the uniforms? Keep it real.
What do you think of the
uniforms? Boots. The boots. Can we agree with the boots?
Did anyone see Megan 2.0 this weekend?
Yeah, no.
You didn't see it yet?
I want to, though. I heard it was pretty good. I hear it's more funny than it is, compared to the first one.
They kind of need to lean into the comedy a little bit more. I mean, that's what Chucky did, especially, But that's not a crazy decision. Yeah, I haven't seen it either. Anybody else, or?
I want to. I really enjoyed the first one. Mm-hmm. I thought it was really good.
Same. I thought it was I thought it was very good. I thought it was gonna be a piece of shit, like Chucky knockoff. But even though you can tell it has some similarities, it wasn't. It was good on its own.
Wait, I had an interesting comment here, and we'll go back to Megan 2.0. But Godzillionaire asked if anybody's heard the new. Wait, Godzillionaire. You asked if anybody had heard the new Kanye song yet. By that song, you couldn't possibly mean.
Goddamn.
That song, you couldn't mean that song.
Yeah, no, not really.
Not that song.
No, it couldn't be that song.
Why did he have to make it such a banger? Like, seriously though, like why? Why did he have to make that that beat so fucking catchy? Because that's what sells it.
Well, and the thing is,
and there's meaning behind the song that's not just surface level, obviously. And it's that's the thing about Kanye, and that's one of the things I've always loved about this guy is when has he lied?
Yeah, it's irony, like the irony of him, like what's being said is just lost on these people.
Yeah,
this has been predicted. This is actually the eventual outcome. People has said this was going to happen. That you call people Yahtzee long enough, it's going to be devoid of meaning. Mm-hmm. And this is where we are, where you have Kanye making a song saying because and again, like that, it doesn't mean the same thing. Just like being called a Yahtzee, like this is just a good way to kind of say just basically flipping everyone off, you know, in his own way. But yeah, I mean, we said it was going to happen. Here we are.
Right.
2019, I am racist.
wait. Are you saying I should put this meme up?
Yeah, but with Kanye.
And just what? I can't believe I did that. Oh my god!
You see that? It says not welcome.
Right?
No. I'm sorry. I can't even watch that movie anymore, man.
I haven't watched that movie. It's been forever. Another one. It is a good movie, but another one along those lines that I really liked. It came out. God, I want to say it was like 90. What 5, 6? Higher Learning. That's
God. Yeah, I saw that one.
The one with Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes.
And what's the wife of Michael Rappaport?
Michael Rappaport, who is the most.
I'm sorry.
He's the most insufferable motherfucker in real life, and in that movie, he's just Remy. Remy was his name.
Remy.
Yeah. Remember how you mentioned Blood In and Blood Out the other day?
Yeah,
I watched it. It was pretty good.
I told you that fucking movie's amazing, dude.
And I didn't realize that the main guy was in a bunch of other shit that it was pretty good too.
Benjamin Bratt.
I have to watch that one.
The guy that's the cop.
Oh yeah, that's Benjamin Bratt. No. He was the one that got dropped in the fire hydrant.
So hold on, guys, because we got to stay with American history actually for a second.
Okay,
this is going to end up being the Yahtzee episode. It's going to go down as the Yahtzee episode. But do you guys remember this scene? It's a flashback scene in that movie where it's the young Ed Norton's character. He's talking to his father at the dinner table, and the father's talking to him about affirmative action. God, all right, yeah, maybe it's a deep.
I haven't seen that movie since like the 90s. I need to watch it again. Like it's just one of those movies I haven't seen since it's been
years.
First started showing on HBO or whatever.
Yeah. So he pretty much gives a really great case against affirmative action, and he delivers it to young Ed Norton, but then he tops it off with the cherry on top by like saying a racial slur at the very end. But it was like, it's almost like they were masking that good ass argument and then purposely trying to discredit it. Like the whole thing about affirmative, you know what I mean? But if anyone else in the chat has seen it or just in the comment section, am I crazy? I need to rewatch it. Maybe I don't remember it correctly.
It's like they're showing their side of the argument, but then top it off with that to show, but it's actually rooted in racism. So if it may sound like a good argument, but it's actually rooted in this when it's not. It's rooted in reality.
It's rooted in reality. Yeah, because he's talking about being a firefighter, and he was saying that he goes, they don't want to give a job to a less qualified firefighter because even if he got lower scores just because of his race or some other reason. And it's a solid argument. Then at the end he goes, oh, but that's just N-word BS.
It's funny you mentioned firefighter because that's one of Adam Carolla's stories. When he was younger and digging ditches and working construction and shit, he went and applied to be a firefighter, and the guy told him, he asked how long it would be till he heard back, and the guy kind of looked at him and said 7 years, and it was. For the next 7 years, Adam Carolla continued digging ditches, learning his craft as a carpenter, whatnot, and they finally called him for the aptitude test. So he went down there, and there's a line of people, and there's a black woman behind him, and they get to talk, and he's like, so how long ago did you fill out the application? She said 2 weeks. So that's exactly exact 7 years. And Adam Carolla is a big guy. He's like 6'2", 6'3", former boxer, cut, fucking
blue collar motherfucker.
Yep.
Yeah, he's who you would want if you were in a fire to come busting in the door to fucking drag your ass out of there,
Yeah.
And just look at LA this past year. You've got fat lesbian chicks like, well, if you're in that position to be saved, then you shouldn't have been in that position anyway. I'm not going to drag your ass out. Like,
what?
Yeah. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. I'm just saying, like, as a visceral reaction to that, it's like, this is the basis of, you're a first responder. Like, that is the basis of your job. And you can look no further than the effects of that. And I, at one point, was applying for the Michigan State Police Academy when I was 21. And for that, you have to take a civil service exam. And my recruiter, who happened to be one of my dad's best friends out of our local state police post, told me, you better score 99 or 100 on this. And I was like, why? He goes, because if you don't have a snowball's chance in hell of getting in the academy. And I'm like, huh? And he basically broke it down and said, white males, it's got to be 98, 99, 100. White females were around what, the
41, 42. No, I'm sorry.
No. They were mid, they had to be like low to mid 80s. The black males were around the same, dip into maybe 75. Black females were like 75 to 65. But everybody else was basically held. There was no differentiation between Latino, Asian. They were all held to basically the white standards.
Yeah, when I applied, they were like, "Can you spell your name?" But I ended up turning them down.
But it was crazy. I ended up scoring a 99 on it. But yeah, it was. I didn't become a cop for another myriad of fucking reasons. But
crazy.
But yeah, it was, crazy. And this was in the year 2000.
Boomer delusion. Wow. It's all the fucking boomer delusion where we have to keep putting off reality in order to uphold these hippie beliefs that just aren't true.
And that's the problem with your DEIs. I don't give a shit what somebody looks like as long as they're the most qualified person for a fucking job. Like, seriously, it does. Now, if you're talking firefighters and police officers, let's be fucking honest here. Let's be bluntly honest. There is like, what, 1%, 1 to 2% of women, by and large, that physically have the strength to do that job effectively. Okay. And to the full extent of a average male that's in those positions. And you see, and we've all seen the videos of these overweight female police officers, 3-4 of them unable to subdue one medium-sized male suspect. Like, I've watched a video of four female police officers who are all varying degrees of obese. And they could not. This guy was probably
and they
5.
Just give up and let him get away.
They stopped chasing him. They all just stopped, and they were on their radios. It's like,
that's hilarious.
Well,
it puts every other officer's life at risk, mind you, because now that dude's at large.
Yep.
But if you look at like feminism and all that stuff, and how they like want this percentage of like females and stuff in the workplace, those people aren't applying for those larger jobs because it's a male dominated job. Like, if you look at the percentage of jobs that like are more male than female, like, it's not because they don't want men or women in that field, it's because they're not applying for that field.
Yeah. And
it's all infrastructure shit. It's all stuff that, like, if men didn't do those jobs, women wouldn't be able to do those jobs.
And that's the thing. There's not a lot of, and I'm sure there are some. There's
exceptions. But it's not the rule.
There's not a lot of underwater female welders, I'm sure.
No,
what I mean?
They're the exception to the rule, not the actual thing.
I was driving by.
The left always looks at the exception and thinks it needs to be the rule.
They're not all large March, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. I was driving by. They're building a Big B and a Starbucks, right down the road from me. And I was driving by the Big B the other day, and the construction crew is out there working, and they're pouring the driveway. And there was a chick out there, at the end of the shovel. And I was like, okay, she has pretty nice arms. I'm not gonna lie. Wish I got to look at the rest of her, but no. But no, it's like there's but there are some, but like you said, they're the exception rather than the norm, and they shouldn't be treated like they're the norm. It's like you have to fit into that field. The field doesn't have to adjust to you. That's the problem with a lot of people who are now adults. They were raised as children to be told you are special. You don't need to change anything. The world will change for you. And it's like, that's fucked up and the exact opposite of reality. And that's a terrible message. And there's countless fucking parents that's what they told their kids. And what we're seeing now in society is the fucking effects of that.
Stop calling me out, man. Why are you calling me out like that?
Because they want to use the exception to the rule of everything. And it's like, it's not how that works. Like,
that's right.
Generalities are used for like a reason, like because it's usually what is normal. Like, that's what's gonna happen. Like, and then like feminism or like hate men. We need to be equal, but they can't be equal to us because we're both different.
Yeah.
Well, there's a balance between the two.
Yeah,
we each have our own God-given purpose on this earth, and it's not to fight a war on which pay attention real fucking close, which gender is better or superior when we both have divine purpose. We both have divine purpose for being
we
here.
fit together like Voltron almost. You got to think of it like that. We come together like a two-piece Voltron.
Yep.
Yep. And that makes us complete, I guess. But then you take in the spiritual element. But
are we the car Voltron or the lion Voltron?
Lion.
Or the third one that we didn't get.
It's got to be the lion.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's just the leg and the arm.
We can rebuild him. We have the technology. We just don't want to spend a lot of money.
Yeah. Right. So shit, man. Fuck, where do we go from here?
Let me find another Edward Norton meme.
I watched all the Purge movies because we were talking about Megan earlier.
Yeah.
I watched all the Purge movies because I'd never seen them. They're not bad. It kind of devolves into this like classism kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, okay, I see where they're going here. But like you can definitely see the like kind of wokeness infiltrating into it, like the further the movies go.
Right.
And then the like the white guys are like basically the Trumpers and the MAGA are basically like the bad guys. Like in the prequel one that like started it all, there were literally like dudes dressed as like Nazis, like running through, like mowing down a bunch of black people, and it's like,
but the uniforms are dope.
Yeah, I was like, are we really? Well, it was like a general, like Yahtzee general, like in a gimp suit, basically, and it's like, geez, are we really doing this? I'm like, is this happening?
It's dude from 8mm. In general,
but it's like,
that's funny.
And
that's
like
hilarious.
the last one is like the opposite of like how immigrants are coming here for sanctuary, and it's them trying to go to Mexico because the purge is only like for 12 hours, and they decide in the last one that the white supremes are basically they want it to be a forever purge. And so they have to go to. They only have 6 hours that the borders to Mexico are open, so they can go there for sanctuary. And it's like, okay.
The first one had a good balance.
Exactly.
I mean, there was, it was kind of like it was more. There was that elitist message, right? Because the people who were well off, they could afford security, they could lock down during the purge, and for the most part, they were safe. But, it was like, fuck the rest. If you couldn't hunker down on purge night, well, too bad, so sad. Grab a machete,
Yeah, and then, like, the rich family that, like, hates the other rich family's guts, and it's like, because they're the ones that sold them the,
Ethan Hawke and his wife in the first one.
Yeah.
That was a cool twist. I'm sorry.
I've only seen the first and second one. I never watched any.
The third one is good because it's got Frank Grillo in it.
Oh, I gotta see that one.
Or the second one and the third one have Frank Grillo in it, and they're freaking awesome. The second and third are really good.
Are we
Apparently,
talking?
he's coming back in the sixth one when they do that.
Are we okay?
That makes me excited for the sixth one, just because Frank Grillo.
So by the first one, we mean the original first one with Ethan Hawke, not the prequel. Okay,
yeah.
All right,
not the prequel, not the first Purge, but just the Purge.
Because
was there Purge election night or something like that?
Yeah, that's the third one.
That's the third one.
Purge,
that's the one.
Purge Anarchy is the second one, and then the first Purge is the fourth one, and then Forever Purge is the fifth.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm behind on these. Apparently, I did not.
Yeah, I one of them came up on my feed or something, and I was like, I haven't seen any of these, so I'm like, let's see where they're all at, and I ended up watching them.
I'm like laser focused on Highlander right now. Like that's all I've been watching. I just made it to season 2, so
okay.
You're doing the show.
Yeah, I love that fucking show. I didn't see all of it as a teenager, but like I saw, some of it, and I'm like, man, it's great. It really is. Adrian Paul's fucking fantastic.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
It's kind of like, I mean, it's not like high art or anything. I might be, don't get the illusion if you haven't seen it that, it's high art or it's, this spectacular motion picture. It's a good series though. Yeah. For a villain of the week that Duncan's got to face, but it's always cool. Like I dig stuff like that. I don't mind it. The formulaic aspect of it. I like it said, it's 22 episodes. I love that format. When seasons, I don't,
especially when the season drags.
Right. Well,
I don't know.
Seasons were just a paycheck. Really, so you wanted a longer back then. So you got to remember, especially for the people that are young, this wasn't Netflix, right?
Yep.
We had to be around to have the TV on to know to put it on Channel 9 at 11:30 or whatever it was, or 2 a.m, because that's what they would do with Highlander. Is always sticking in some weird time slot.
Mm-hmm.
So I've only seen a handful of episodes, only because yeah, man, like Renegade, that was another show that was like that.
Oh yeah, I remember
weird times. It was a Lorenzo Lamas phrase. But yeah, man. So we didn't have the opportunity to just buy the season and then watch episode 1 through 22. We just saw what we saw. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing, and people don't realize. They don't fucking realize that you had to fucking watch these things as they aired. Unless you had a VCR, and knew how to set the time recorder.
Oh, which is always a bitch back then.
Oh yeah,
so
forget
they made
about
it
it.
Easier later.
Yeah, that was pre-TiVo, right? Obviously, and pre-digital cable, where they started dabbling with streaming movies. You know what I mean? Like, but even before the DVR, that's what I'm exactly. But man, yeah, it just had to be on, and you better pray to God they didn't change the time slot. You better pray to God it wasn't, the football game wasn't still on or some shit,
I just prefer the 10 episode seasons, because a lot of them, depending on the show, the 20 some episode season, there's just too much filler, and it's like, all right, we get it, just get to the point, let's but then there's certain shows that have the lower thing, and they don't, that could benefit from the longer episode count, but don't have the longer episode count.
Now I'm seeing shows that are 8 episodes and should be a 2 hour or 1 hour and a half movie.
Yep.
Like a lot of the Marvel shows were like that.
Yeah.
There was so much filler in them, and the Star Wars shows were the same way. I can't speak to anything in the last probably 2 years because I haven't watched anything as far as Star Wars or like I said, I saw Deadpool and Wolverine. I liked that. I enjoyed it. I wanted to see Thunderbolts. I don't have Disney Plus anymore because they raised it to like $30 a month, and I'm like,
Man.
fuck that. I don't. I got it.
My phone company, so
yeah. Well, I'm about to switch phones, so I'm gonna see if I can't, because there's like the movies that I don't own because I bought most of the MCU that isn't dog shit. Because let's face it, since Endgame, outside of the Spider-Man movies, which were Sony, all of it has been really bad. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I didn't hate that one.
I loved it. I'm gonna be one of the rare few. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was a sucker for the fucking talking animals.
I enjoyed it. I was trying to figure out, like, to me, like the first, the first one is fantastic. The second one, I like the second one, but it's like I don't know which one is better, the second or the third. It's kind of
I like the second one a lot.
I love the second. I love all three of them, to be clear. I don't know. I'm kind of I don't want to
glaze. I don't like what they did to Adam Warlock, and then
that was.
I haven't seen all of it, but I've seen parts of it.
That was my bone of contention. Is Adam Warlock is a bumbling idiot.
The race swap of
the High Evolutionary.
I'm not all right with that.
They did. The actor
I didn't know that.
The actor has a very difficult name to pronounce, so I'm not even. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But I thought he was good.
He was fucking good.
He had a fantastic performance.
He was fucking good.
There's this, and we can say what we want about race swaps. Like Nick Fury's not black. Nick Fury's fucking white.
Yeah, but he's not OG Nick Fury.
But
he's not OG Nick Fury. That's right.
Yeah,
he's never.
No, fair enough. Yeah. But I agree with you.
He's not Hasselhoff.
No,
sorry.
But what I'm saying is there's some roles, and we've talked about like the Equalizer before. The Equalizer originally was not black.
No.
But Denzel Washington
was cool.
Is fucking just an amazing actor who can pretty much play the really good guy or the really bad guy, because Training Day is one of my favorite fucking movies, and he is amazing in that movie. He plays. Yeah. You've never. Oh, that's a Patreon watch right there. We got to watch Training Day. That is the soundtrack to that movie is amazing as well. But that's
the one where he's the hot boss with American Gangster.
I hate that movie. I gotta say,
he's
like walking down the street or whatever.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Seen what?
American Gangster. I don't think I've ever watched that.
Overrated.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Did you like it? I'm sorry. Am I stepping on you?
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. I don't know. It just seemed kind of formulaic, and it just seemed. I don't know. And in my fucking recording day, like, that whole like Frank Lucas story is kind of crazy, but I don't know. It just felt formulaic. It didn't feel. There was something missing from it, but Russell Crowe was really good in it too.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see that one?
No, I did not see American Gangster. That was that's a miss on me.
It had Russell Crowe in it, so I was sold.
I know
Crowe with Denzel, because Denzel.
He's what is it? Frank. Denzel's character, is it Frank something?
And what?
Frank Lucas.
Frank Lucas. Yep.
Yeah, Frank Lucas.
Yeah.
I don't remember much of it. I just remember parts of it, but I remember enjoying it at least.
Yeah, I have never watched that one. I might check it out. Honestly,
I'm going to tell you guys a story off air about something about Frank Lucas that you find interesting. Nothing illegal or no, but a funny story. Remind me after we go off.
All right, Tony, you want me to share this Razor Fist tweet?
Oh, that cook.
Please.
All right, we'll share it. Yeah, let me share this. Hang on. Right, here we go. You cannot. This is there. I'll read it. You cannot hate Jews and be Christian, because Jews are a Christian missions field, an important enough one that Jesus spent most of the gospel ministering to them specifically. You cannot hate those you evangelize. These utterly benign statements will somehow be controversial.
What? They had him killed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's how do you refute that one? You know, they
yeah.
You know, like they always get shifted to Romans.
I wish I could find Mark Dice's video, which one it was, but he talks about the Schofield Bible and how things were actually, you know, basically in the past 100 years, the entire relationship between Christians and Jews have changed, and the Schofield Bible was after a rabbi went through the Bible and basically changed certain things in it.
Yep.
To, you know, more or less have Christians evangelize and be grafted into Judaism, but I don't know. I don't know that much about religion myself. All I know is I don't understand how Jesus Christ can be the only way to the Heavenly Father and to salvation, yet God's chosen people say Jesus Christ is in hell burning in his own shit and semen.
Yeah, well,
like the math doesn't add up to me.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of called it though. If you follow the Old Testament all the way up to that, he said that would happen. That it would be his own that killed him, and you know they would reject him like the other prophets. But that's a whole other talk, man. You know.
Yeah, I'm not educated enough to talk about, but like Mark Dice made a video like about a year ago where he really went into it, and like I don't know.
Listen to Andrew Wilson as well. He talks about the theology of orthodoxy and all that stuff. And, and why not? So
Andrew Wilson, Jay Dyer is good. This is the best Yahtzee episode of all time. I'm just saying, we're covering all bases. But yeah, no, like, do you know they're coming after Jay Dyer? I don't know if you guys are like, I love Jay Dyer. You know,
yeah, he's been on whatever and stuff. I watched him. I didn't know about him until then.
I don't know.
Yeah, man. He covers a lot of like he's there's a religious side, right? Because he's Orthodox. He's Orthodox, and he does like you know a lot of apologetics, a lot of debates, you know, and he makes like a really good case, you know. But he he was like trad cat. He went to Orthodox church, but still whatever. Same thing. Andrew Wilson, another one, right?
Andrew's the one he's usually on there. He's the one that just like tears every female on their dish. Okay, I know who he is. Yeah,
he makes them look like fuck. Yeah, he's a winner. That's all that matters.
I just watch him. I'm just in awe of his just takedowns of every single person that comes in front of him. I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
He's not.
They were trying to cancel him recently too. Because he had a debate with a guy, and the guy is known for like clipping people's shit out of context that he was having a debate with, and he made the thing that Grape like it was a hypothetical thing to test his worldview, and they took it out of context, and it had to do with Grape and like people who are graped, have orgasms, and it's like. Yeah. He was doing that because he was, trying to point out the fact that, A is good, so therefore B is good. Like, because that's what this guy's point of view was. And while I agree that he may not have used that kind of analogy because of how people take things out of context, the point still stands that
you definitely need the context because if you hear
but they took
the entire
snippet of the thing, they didn't get anything before that little snippet. So and everybody was like, "Oh, you hear what he said?" And then they've been bringing it up. The women have been bringing it up on the whatever podcast.
Yeah,
and they're like, and then he's like, "No, Did you?" And they ask him if they saw like the whole clip or just part of it. And when they're lying when they say they saw it, and then they still continue the same bullshit, which means they didn't. They just saw the clip. So
this channel right here, bro. Look, anybody right now could take this channel, this show. They could edit it out of context and make it sound like that we like Jews and that we're cool with them, and I'm sorry.
Yeah,
they're going now. Shut it down.
The host is a Jew, and we love him.
All right. as I've been told, you're one of the good ones, bud.
You're one of the good ones.
I'm like, wait a minute.
No, man, and of course you guys are definitely welcome. I just kid. So
after what we've been doing this over 6 years now. Trust me, if I ever make it big, I'm cooked.
We're done.
I'm cooked. There's so much back catalog of offensive humor on this channel that we had one stream that literally got taken down a couple weeks ago. Me, Draven, and Chris on a Wednesday night.
I don't even know what we were saying.
It was guys. They said cyberbullying.
Yeah, they say that's what it all is. Like even the stuff that I made comments on Facebook, they tried to say that was bullying.
And then
harassment. It's like, no, that's just a blanket term for them to like strike shit.
I didn't have the recording on StreamYard because I already deleted it to make room, and I couldn't view it on Facebook or on YouTube. So I'm like, how the fuck do I know what exactly was said?
Yeah.
I'm like,
right.
Yeah, because they do that on purpose on YouTube. Yeah. So you don't know what was said. So you can't refute it. You just accept it. Because they don't want you to refute it.
Yeah.
Totally, man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
All right, so I'm sorry, no, please.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was literally going to ask, what do you guys think of Superman? Because that one seems to be topic. Are you guys looking forward to that or what?
Okay.
Where are you guys at?
Mix on it.
I'm going to take my son to go see it because he wants to see it. I'm on the fence with it. Okay. I've heard, the people that already basically, think it's going to be garbage. It looks like garbage, and that's fine if that's, and then I've heard, high praise. I'm kind of like, I'm not the biggest Superman fan, but I did love the Christopher Reeve movies because I grew up with those, the Donner ones. So that's my bar for Superman, which it has not been surpassed, even though we have had a superior actor play Superman in Henry Cavill. None of his performances, the writing never allowed him to fully be Superman.
Yeah.
Well, he never got a sequel, so that's why he didn't get to be like Superman.
Yeah.
If we got a sequel, we would have saw him as Superman.
But Zack Snyder didn't understand.
He would have fucked it up.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good take on Superman.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Just because I hate the whole sunshine lollipop bullshit with Superman. I like the dark.
That's what he.
But you're a Lex Luthor, man. Oh,
God damn it, Draven.
Draven, you fucking quiz.
You just like the Man of Steel and like the whole he doesn't kill. Well, he's not Superman yet.
No, that doesn't bother me. No, he even killed Christopher Reeve killed the other killed Zod and whatnot in part 2. But
no, he sent him back to the.
I thought he.
No, he killed him.
They died.
No, he killed them. He threw them. He threw them in. Yeah, he threw them down the shaft in Fortress of Solitude. The thing is, look, Man of Steel would have been perfect if they would have done this. If they would have kept the world dark and gritty, like what you're talking about. But if you keep Superman the same, and the same type of character, and then that's where you get a good fucking Superman story. You can keep the world like it is now.
Oh, and he's like a beacon of, and then have him be the bright spot where it's like, hope. Where he's like a beacon of hope, where everything is grim dark, and then he's like there to save the day kind of thing.
Yeah. And like Henry Cavill, 100% had the potential to be the definitive Superman. And I'll tell you what, I like Zack Snyder movies, like I like Watchmen, 300, and I really did like Justice League, his version. A lot. Like I put that shit up there higher than a lot of people. But Man of Steel was for me was a big miss. I remember that shit started.
Batman. I thought Batman versus Superman was terrible.
Why did you say that name?
Except the last part when they're fighting Doomsday, that was cool. But,
it was cool.
Everything else was terrible.
This is visual slop by that point. It didn't mean anything.
No, it didn't.
I was waiting. I was just like, please kill this motherfucker. Just kill Superman already. Doomsday, please.
We saw it coming. We saw it coming. And let me tell you, yeah, that was a real piece of shit. I went there opening night.
I didn't spend money on it. I got it on a streaming thing while it was still in theaters.
Yeah, I think ever since I grew up with Christopher Reeve Supermans, but I didn't get to go see Superman in theater until Superman Returns. But ever since then, I paid for every Superman movie, at the theater. But I think this looks legit to bring it back to this one. I don't know. I think it's getting a lot of undue hate. I remember the Suicide Squad. I personally really enjoyed that movie.
That's the second one.
The second one. The second one.
I really liked it.
I fucking hated the first one. Hated
the first one.
Fuck, I hated
it. Bad. The only good thing about that one is was it Pyro or whatever? He was the best part of it. He was the best part of that movie because he's the only person that actually had depth and character.
Yeah, something, and we didn't even see enough of it. We got him we got 2 scenes of him, really, or maybe 3
snippets. That was it, just snippets of him.
Well, there's apparently a director's cut. I wonder what.
Oh, the Ayers cut.
The Ayers
cut of that. I wonder what that's.
I'll fucking pass.
What else is on there that might make that better? Wasn't the villain supposed to be something else at first?
Probably. It should have been. It should have been Batman or something. It should, you know what I mean, or something crazy like that.
That was the whole. Well, but the second one,
or maybe I'm thinking that Batman had a bigger role in it or whatever.
I like the second one because David Dastmalchian is in it. And
man.
Yeah, he's dead. If you've never seen Late Night with the Devil, that was one of the first movies Trina and I reviewed on Tuesday Night Terrorvision, and I put that up at the top of our list of the first 25 movies we watched. I had that one up close to the top. That was fucking phenomenal, and his performance was amazing.
Made for $50 probably. Very. It looks like it didn't need money if it had it, because they did a lot of AI editing. They did and small, obviously, so it was a good movie, what I mean? You didn't need all that.
The aesthetics of the movie, the period piece aspect of it, just the way they shot it, the wardrobe, the hair, the background, the story. Everything, the story, it was fucking great. That was a great movie. But no, to bring it back to the Superman one, Nicholas Hoult playing Lex Luthor. I'm not that familiar with Nicholas Hoult. I'm really not. I don't have a
He's
frame
in
of reference.
The Menu.
I've never seen it.
He's Beast in X-Men.
Okay, all right. Okay.
The Menu was really good. I watched that recently too.
Yeah, you mentioned that. You mentioned that to me. Is it Rafe Fine? Ray
Fiennes. Yeah, Ray Fiennes is in it as the chef, and John Leguizamo's in it. Right, a bunch of people. I like that one too. It was good.
I was pleasantly surprised because before I had seen it, and I thought it was about cannibals, because it's kind of makes it seem that way, but it's not. It has nothing to do with cannibals.
Yeah, no, man, that totally. But you were saying, so do you think he's going to be a good Lex Luthor, or from the trailer? Or where were you at?
Oh, I think it'll be. I think he'll be all right. Better than what's his name?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg is better than that.
Oof.
It would have been interesting to see him what he did with it once they shaved his head.
Yeah,
it would have been interesting to see what they planned on doing.
He blew it from Jump Street.
But the beginning was because it was sort of an origin of him as well, in a way.
No one will ever be better than Hackman.
Hackman?
Yeah, I think that's why they kept him with the hair, because Hackman had the hair and it was curly. So that's like that. I get why they kept the hair, like him having hair.
Yeah,
but Spacey was terrible as Luthor.
Which one he was in? Was it Superman
Returns?
Okay, I recently just watched that for the first time. Never saw it before
because Hackman.
I bought like the first three. I think.
Oh, I'm so curious here. What are your thoughts?
It was a long movie, and it was very slow, and then it was over. Brandon Routh had a look. He had a look, but it was so slow and plotting. Yeah, Kevin Spacey as Luthor was fucking weird. It was weirder than John Cryer as Lex Luthor.
It was Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor as Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was really no acting involved in that. He was just being himself. He's a fucking.
He was American Beauty. He was Lester. Yeah, from American Beauty. He was the same character.
Oh God! Except
I like John Cryer as Lex Luthor. I like that. I liked him.
That would have been a cool arc.
Freaking Supergirl as Lex Luthor.
God damn it, Draven! Every time
he was the best fucking part of that season.
No, what's her name's ass was. Never mind.
No, like. The whole first half of that season was literally a race war between like alien immigrants coming from like outer space to the U.S. versus like a white supreme like human, like, and that's basically the whole premise of the first half of the season. And then they introduced Lex Cryer as Lex Luthor, and I thought it was pretty good because like he did like a bait and switch, and they're like, "Oh, it's all
what season? What season was that?
Oh, I forget.
I watched the first season of Supergirl.
They did like
when
the
it was
red,
on CBS.
They did like the Soviet like version of Supergirl because there was a clone. So the red.
Oh wow! So they race swapped because that was a comic.
Yeah,
right.
That was Supergirl instead.
That was a pretty fun. That was a pretty interesting comic. It was pretty good.
Like because they thought Lex Luthor was gonna die because he was dealing with something. And then, like, right when you think he's gonna die and pass away, like there's this big bait and switch, and it's like, holy shit, that was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, and because that's something Lex Luthor would do. He would fake his own death or like pretend he was gonna die to like fucking gain everybody's sympathy and not make them suspect that he's the, you know what I mean, the guy behind everything. So, all
right, now, all right. So yeah, he wasn't the best.
Ducky is Lex Luthor.
I know, right? But like, all right. So Superman Returns. I think I would agree with you. I gotta say that airplane scene was badass. I mean, I just wish there was that's where you saw the potential of a fucking great movie. That's the most we got.
It just disappeared after that.
Yeah, unfortunately. But and I also give it credit for this. I like seeing Superman save Metropolis instead of letting it turn to shit. Like that was one of my biggest problems watching Man of Steel. Was just letting him and participating in the destruction of these buildings.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's antithetical to what Superman like.
Yeah, but he's not Superman yet, so I don't care.
Oh my God, I'm gonna fucking fight you.
All right.
But he's not. He's becoming Superman, so he's learning what he should and shouldn't do.
He would want
in that process.
He would still want to protect Metropolis, though.
Yeah,
he's doing that by trying to stop the guy that's causing everything from happening.
Yeah, but he would take the fight out. Like, in fact, remember, if you go to Superman 2, right? And this is like, I mean, comic. I'm not even that big into the comic, but like, he was like, he made it look like he was a coward. Like, he ran away from them, and then they went to go chase him to draw him out.
He fought Doomsday in the middle of the city.
Yeah, there was
destruction and stuff that happened in that comic. So sometimes it can't be avoided.
No, sometimes it can't be avoided, and that is the big Superman thing, is that he cannot be everywhere at once, even with all his powers.
In this case, it was a machine that was literally like sucking everything up too, destroying. So like by destroying that giant machine, there's going to be collateral damage.
Yeah, but still, like, he would not take Zod and smash him into a building populated with people. Like that would not be his move. Like if he got caught in like it would go the other way around. Like if Zod caught him, he'd probably like just smash him through the buildings, not giving a fuck who he killed. You know, but Superman would not intentionally like just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's not Superman yet.
He wouldn't do that. That's the truest statement you said. He is not Superman.
He's not Superman yet.
He is not Superman yet.
I'm over here looking like the Arthur meme, just clenching my fist right now.
You know, right? You think I think
clenches his fist, and then the Kanye song plays.
You think Zack Snyder? You think Zack Snyder would have gotten it? He would have gotten it right with the follow up, because I don't know, like he had a different idea.
He might have. We would have seen. I wanted to see the future.
Gotta be dark and gritty.
I wanted to see the future stuff with the Justice League.
Well, they didn't.
Yes.
But that was the fucking problem. You can't do Man of Steel, BVS, and then do Justice League, and then throw all these other fucking characters in. Because Wonder Woman came out after Justice League.
I agree they should have took their time,
but they wanted
to build the universe, but they didn't.
Justice League lost so much fucking money. They wanted to be Marvel, but they didn't do the work.
No, they didn't. They wanted to skip to the last part.
Yeah,
it doesn't work that way. They forgot the essence of what created the MCU to begin with.
I find it funny that Aquaman. The first Aquaman came out and made $1 billion fucking dollars.
And they should have started with Batman first.
Batman's Nolan verse, right?
Because Batman, you start with that and you build on that, because he's basically your Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they should have incorporated the Nolan universe into it.
Yeah, but that you could actually blame Nolan on that. I think he was pretty insistent that no, he did not want a Superman existing in this universe or whatever. So okay, you know, but still, you know, that would have been a better story, because Man of Steel was not the equivalent of like Iron Man. I mean, as far as like quality movie.
No, I wanted a goddamn solo, true Ben Affleck Batman movie, because I liked him as Batman. I think Ben Affleck was a good casting as Batman at that point in time. I think he's been, and I don't, the Robert Pattinson thing, that notwithstanding, I'm not.
I liked I
fucking hate that movie.
I liked that movie a lot.
I hate
that movie so much.
I liked it, but
I was bored.
It's not.
Oh, I liked the whole him actually being a detective like he's supposed to be.
That was cool.
I will say this: the stuntman did tremendous work,
and then when he had to be a badass, it was pretty awesome.
I don't know. The choreography was done well. It looked good. It looked very good. Colin Farrell is. I haven't watched the Penguin show yet.
I watched some. I haven't watched
the Penguin. Is fucking awesome. The Penguin is better than the Batman. I'll tell you that. Penguin is better than the Batman.
And it's more of a mafia show too, which is kind of right up.
Kind of, and even all the way to the end of the season is pretty solid. And my problem with the Batman was too long. It was, I don't know, felt like it was too depressing in certain ways. Like I didn't like the portrayal of Bruce.
Why? Because he was emo and shit.
I didn't like emo Bruce.
That's because he's it's like the first year of him being Batman. Of course,
he's not really Batman yet. It's just like,
exactly. He isn't Batman yet. He's
like year 2.
Batman. That's why his car isn't completely finished, and it's all half-assed, a lot of the stuff that he does. So that makes sense that he would be brooding and kind of it takes Alfred to kind of snap him out of it and kind of keep him on track.
That movie then. I'd agree with you if the movie ended with him becoming like Bruce Wayne. You know what I mean? Where he actually addresses the press after that stupid fucking flood storyline thing they did. Yeah. But if he would have came out as suave Bruce Wayne and manned up and taken that role as well, that would have made more sense, you know. But now you're gonna drag it out across 3 fucking movies, and so the next movie is gonna like step up as Bruce Wayne. So I'm okay, great.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was long and brooding, and they
like,
should have kept that Joker scene in there too. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Because like he learns that like Bruce Wayne is technically the mask, and him as Batman is actually who he is. In the course of that movie. So
who is supposed to be the Joker in that?
Oh,
I don't know.
Something Koenig.
Something.
I think his name.
I can't remember because they filmed the scene. It's a deleted scene, isn't it?
No,
Did you pull it up? No. This is a deleted. There wasn't a credit scene, or actually, it was like before the credits. It was like tease at the very end of the movie where Riddler talks to Joker. But there's a deleted scene where Batman talks to Joker. I thought it was a badass scene, and they were retarded to not include this in the movie and play this up in the movie. This definitely would have elevated the whole thing. Do you see it? I don't know if you're downplayed or
I think I saw it. I'm not 100% sure.
I've got it right here, but it's 5 minutes long, and I'll get hit for that. Yeah,
it's very Hannibal Lecter, Clarice, Silence of the Lambs reminiscent. You know what I mean? With him, like he's asking him for help tracking down Riddler, and if they would have incorporated that into the story, it would have been. I think it would have been flawless, and you could have worked in Joker escaping by the end of the movie. You know, bunch of other cool shit. We got a stupid flood, and then like a bunch of MAGA Riddlers at the end. You know,
and then I didn't mind what's her name as Catwoman either.
You didn't mind her? Okay.
No, and everybody was like focused on that little comment that she made. It's like
it took me right out the movie.
It didn't take me out of the movie just because within the context of the movie, it made sense.
Yeah, but I just know like, and it wasn't just me. Me and like a bunch of other people in the theater literally went, ugh. It was fucking. It was just so blatantly like, we just fucking watch a Batman
I get what
movie
they were
without this.
trying to do, but like, if there would have been no other like indication of like that being the issue, like, and given how her character, like they introduced her character in the universe and like what was going on in the universe, like if none of that stuff happened and she said that line, I'd be like, all right, come on,
like, stop, right,
yeah,
right,
like
right.
Let's be real, like, but
and
given the context of everything going on and her saying that, it makes completely sense, and she was in character by saying that.
Yeah, and I do appreciate the irony of her telling that to a white privileged asshole. Literally, you know what I mean? You want to be really literally talking to like the richest person in Gotham.
Yeah, and she doesn't realize that it
doesn't realize it. So I do appreciate that irony. You know what I mean? But it took me right out the fucking movie. You know, but yeah, Dark Knight was superior. You know, I guess we could just say that.
Oh, absolutely. Of course. Like, there's no, I'm not gonna deny that. Like, the Nolan ones minus Rise were really good. Like, Rise had some elements that were all right, but
I'm a Rise defender, so that's my weak link.
Wait, but that's the one with Bane, right?
Yeah, you're bird.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy is fucking great as Bane. I thought. I thought he played a damn good version of Bane, much better than Jeep Svensson.
Yeah. Right.
To be fair, that character was non-existent, you know. But no, Dark Knight Rise. I mean, it was, what were you gonna do after you followed Heath Ledger's Joker?
Yeah.
How the fuck were you gonna? Because they were originally. I think weren't they gonna do another one? Wasn't Joker gonna come back?
Joker was gonna come back. Yeah.
Of course, he was gonna come back.
So I mean, you had to completely course correct after the tragic, you know,
because wasn't
Heath Ledger?
Wasn't Two-Face supposed to be in the second the third
No,
one?
second he died in the end of Dark Knight, which I thought was a stupid decision.
Yeah, but was that originally? I don't remember if that was originally supposed to happen though.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, no, you might be right. And I'll tell you what, like in Dark Knight Rise, there's that scene where Scarecrow is the judge of a court and he's sending people out to the ice.
Yep.
You know that was going to be Joker. You know that's supposed to be Joker. Just sitting on top of there, telling people to go on the ice or whatever. But I think they should have either recast him or whatever. But I think the overall cast and the overall performances of everybody in Dark Knight Rise was better than the Dark Knight. Because Dark Knight, I think Heath Ledger carried a lot of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that fucking movie. But there was like weak performances all around them. And I'll even dare say Batman almost took me out that fucking movie with his voice.
Oh, my problem wasn't the voice, but like him in the suit from the first one and the second one, it looked like, how when you wear goggles that cover your nose and you have that like freaking weird fish mouth? That's basically what he looked like. I'm like, what is going on here?
He's about to go snorkeling.
Yes.
I have to say the best piece of acting that Heath Ledger ever did in his entire life was when he grabs Maggie Gyllenhaal and he looks at her and he says, "Hello, beautiful."
You are beautiful.
Yeah, like
beautiful.
That's tremendous acting. That's the line that got him the Oscar.
I think she looks attractive. Have you ever seen that movie where she's like a secretary and
she's the Jersey Five in Dark Knight?
Look, Draven. Out of Jake and Maggie, I'll take Jake, and I'm not even gay. At least I can have a conversation with sports about him.
Draven is right about her in Secretary.
Yeah, she's fucking hot in that movie. God.
I've never even heard of Secretary.
Oh my God. That was like her breakout movie. That was her breakout movie. And it's a sexy fucking movie.
And she's also in Donnie Darko, too, which is a fucking phenomenal movie as well.
That's a good movie. I haven't seen that.
She actually plays his brother.
They played.
They're actually siblings in that and in real life. But
yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in ages.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Actually, I rewatched it not so long ago. It was a good movie. But you are beautiful. By the time she's there, she looked like she was 42.
I'm like, you went from who's in the third one you had? I can't. I'm fucking stoned. Never mind. I don't know. That's to me not a leading lady. I don't know. I'm a terrible person though, so I'm judging her on aesthetics in this.
Yeah, no, hey man, yeah. And I'm a 1, so it's okay. I'm allowed.
Oh, I'm a soft 3. I mean, shit. Are you kidding me? That's the thing about that. That's the thing about it's funny. I was watching a lot of that whatever thing, and listening to like women and men rate themselves is fucking hilarious because guys were more realistic. Most guys aren't going to say they're a 9 or a 10. You know what I mean? We're going to be like, I'm whatever, But women are always like, oh, I'm a 9 or I'm a 10.
I feel like a 10 today. Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah, Wait, hang on, Draven. What do we got here?
This is her from Secretary. How do you not find that attractive?
Yeah, man. That was a hot movie, man.
She's so hot in that movie.
And you know what it is? It's the acting. I mean, look, she's definitely prettier in this movie. She's younger, she's hotter in it. But it's her acting. It's fucking sexy fucking role.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty little birdie.
Oh yeah, and she has to put her hands on the table. Oh,
It's James Spader, right? That James Spader's the boss.
James Spader's the boss.
Oh, James Spader's. Wait, Trey, when he said,
great.
"Oh God,
That's right.
Let's see. Wait. Okay. So last piece of business of the night. Night of Champions was yesterday, and I did not watch it because I was drinking beer on my boat out in the lake all day and working on my glorious tan. But so we had Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross, and I listened to some analysis of this match, and it went exactly as I thought it would. Basically, let's just bury Karrion Kross even further, which
I think from a story standpoint, it makes sense that he loses because he got what he wanted out of Sami Zayn. He got what he wanted, and that was for him to do more than what he actually has been doing, and get whatever fucking bullshit, like goody shoes type shit out of his head and kind of, be the, so he can be, if they are going to make him a champion, which that seems to be the direction at some point, to get him to kind of get that edge to try to, be a champion.
First of all, there's at least a dozen guys in the locker room I'm in that look and work better than
I'm not saying that I
look and work better than Sami fucking Zayn.
I agree.
Fuck Sami Zayn.
I agree.
That fucking little piece of shit does not belong in anywhere near a title picture, and they're going to put the title on him, and it's fucking terrible. Number two, Karrion Kross is as good as fucking dead career-wise. They're going to keep burying him until he goes away because he built his own momentum. Mm-hmm. He built his own momentum with that promo that wasn't on TV, and it's just you can't keep putting him on television and making him lose. Wins and losses don't matter to certain people, but others they do. And this is the shovel picking the dirt up and throwing it in the hole. Look, I understand some storylines need more time than others, but with him, you've cut everybody, the dead weight in the stable. What was the Final Testament out around him, and him and Scarlett are the only ones left. And all they're doing, they're giving him TV time, but every time he goes out in the ring, he's losing every single fucking time.
Yeah,
and he's not a guy that can afford to take those losses.
He should be going up against some other people in between to give him some wins.
He should have went. In all honesty, he should have went over on Sami Zayn. I'm not saying he should be in the world title picture, but if you want to make Sami Zayn more sympathetic, he loses that match last night.
Yeah, but they've already gone. They've already did that where he
then they take him and they throw him out of an airplane
because they did that with him and Drew or whatever, where he was he lost a bunch of shit and he just kind of pulled himself up by his bootstraps and tried to you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. But now is not really the time for that, and Kross kind of brings that to light. And he gets him to fucking snap and punch him, and that's what started the match to begin with. But then after he got pinned, he's kind of talking, saying that kind of shit to him again, be honest with yourself, be honest with who you actually are, instead of trying to be this goody two shoes, thing to get where you want.
It's not going to do him any favors in the long run. And I want to be wrong about this. I want to be wrong. I really do. And I will say this. I heard some criticism of him recently that he doesn't take back bumps. I didn't see the match. I just heard some analysis of it and just the way I don't know. You guys are familiar with the hater, Tony. I know you are. I listened to him talk about it the other day, and it's come up on other podcasts. I think Steven Richards was talking about it too. Mm-hmm. And I'm look, if he's protecting an injury, okay. But dude, I will say this, and this is why I will criticize the guy too. Bro, if you're not willing to, I'm 45 and I take more of these in practice than I ever do in a match. I'll bump 2 or 3 times in a fucking match. That's it. And that's only if I really have to. But I'm there's certain moves you have to, that he doesn't go above and beyond and do crazy shit. So, I mean, taking a back bump every now and then, you got to do it. It's part of the
I think he does.
I was going to say,
I don't remember if he did in that match because I don't remember much about the match other than fucking Sami Zayn coming down with the Arab thing around his head and stuff, or the Saudi, how they have that weight thing or whatever.
Yeah.
That and then the ending. That's basically all I really remember. Yeah. And he came out with his old entrance or whatever.
But this is from his wife, Scarlett Bordeaux, Lady Scarlett 13. Mm-hmm. I've watched Kross give everything for years for this. Saudi Arabia, you saw him, you felt him, you respected him, and as someone who knows what he's worth, thank you. I've never been more proud. This man has kind of won at life. Mm-hmm. I mean, shit. But no.
And to be honest, he's on the pay-per-view. Like,
yep,
he hasn't really been. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I hope, like I said, I hope I'm wrong because I do like him.
Now, if it doesn't lead to anything, like this whole like thing with what he's been doing being like people's like conscience kind of, if it doesn't lead to anything, then what's the point?
Exactly.
But we're still kind of like leading to that.
Well, this has been going on for a while because the AJ Styles thing was a couple months ago.
Yeah, I guess so.
This has been going on for months. So
and that culminated sort of now he's got a match with Finn Balor.
Who?
Or not Finn Balor against Dom. AJ.
It don't do Karrion Kross a bit of good. Anyway.
No, but I mean, like it got him to get what he needed to get.
But
you know,
but
if there's like if there needs to be a culmination of why he's putting these chess pieces in place.
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting at. Like if he's building to like have all these people in specific spots to like that's what his plan is, then have it pay off.
But yeah, that's
what I'm getting at is that Triple H was the chief operating officer who learned the logistics side of running a business through Vince McMahon and had no fucking place ever being put in charge of creative. And anyone who knew the business and paid attention for the past 20 years knows that as well. He's a fucking lunkhead who is one solid attribute is politicking himself into a good position, and now he's in charge of doing for others, which is something Triple H has never done, and everyone's fucking suffering for it. The business is bad. It's bad. And look, I know Vince was losing it there at the end. I'm not, well, what about this? What about that? I'm just saying Triple H should have never been put in charge of anything creative ever. Bottom line, that's it.
I agree. I agree completely. I have no qualms with anything you said because I'm in the same school of thought. He's never been somebody who wants to give to the guy he's working with. He only extracts, and that's the problem.
And I think the reason that some of the better storylines like Punk and that kind of stuff with Seth and the whole Cena stuff, while it started kind of mediocre, has been better because a lot of those wrestlers have more creative control, I think, and they have more of a swing and say to like what they do than like somebody that is just kind of like in the mid to lower card.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see what else we have on the card. Oh, Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight. Rhea Ripley went over. Didn't she? I didn't see it. Did she get injured? Did I hear somewhere? Did she get injured during the match? Yeah, they're okay.
No, she's fine.
Okay.
She did Riptide off. They had a platform. They had a table across the ropes or whatever as like a platform, and she got her on there. And they were standing on the table, and she did the ripcord, basically an avalanche ripcord off of that to get the win.
Okay, and I know what's her name, the little one, Tony's boo, interfered in the match.
Yeah, yep.
What's her name?
They may end up Roxanne Perez.
Roxanne Perez.
I have a feeling they're gonna have her be an interim.
Oh yeah.
The other tag, like just
probably
because they tried to help, and it kind of like may have put her on Rodriguez's good graces or whatever.
They did it with They did it with Naomi taking over for Jade when she was injured with Bianca, so they can do it over here too. U.S. Championship, Solo defeated the Samoan Werewolf Jacob Fatu with the help of Hikuleo, who I saw in the dark match 2 weeks ago in Grand Rapids at SmackDown.
Oh,
yeah. He wrestled a local talent. He's fucking huge. Like he's huge. But
he is. He looked kind of reminded me of like a mix of. It's like if Nash and X-Pac had like a kid. That's what he kind of looked like. I'm like, because he has like the long curly hair like X-Pac sort of, and then he's huge like fucking Nash. So it's like, and he has like the kind of broad shoulders like him.
Yep. But yeah, so him and the returning idiot Tama Tonga came back, and he's
I thought they were gonna bring the other one too, since he's back, but they didn't. They introduced Hikalelu or whatever.
They'll bring Tonga. They'll bring Tongaloa back so he can do his thing soon enough. But yeah, so Solo Sikoa wins.
Yeah, which I thought was dumb.
And the crowd went mild.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why are we putting the title on him? Like, he's been a failure since he came to the main roster. Like,
yep. Let's see. Oscar versus Jade for the Queen of the Ring, and my favorite chocolate muscle mommy, Jade Cargill, won.
Even though she botched the pin.
Yes, she did. She fell
Which
backwards.
I didn't notice at first.
I did right away.
I saw the replay. Like, shit.
I was like, God damn you!
I was giving her praise for doing better, and then she fucks up her pin.
Fucks up her own pin where she leans back. She goes whoop and fell. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
Let's
that
see.
Ass is too big.
She can sit. Never mind. I want her to put red bottoms on and just step on me and call me a piece of
And she was dressed as
Never
Storm.
mind.
the white Storm
no
outfit.
shame. Yeah.
She came down to that, which was pretty awesome.
She
made the best of them not being able to wear super revealing clothes over there in Saudi.
She is just yeah. Anyway, King of the Ring final, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, and of course, Cody Rhodes goes over.
I thought it was, while I was watching the match at first, I thought it was going to go the other way because Cody was getting way too much offense on Orton. Like, the whole match was mainly Cody, and then it ended up he won anyway. So I was like, oh, okay. But I assumed that he was going to win because we had already talked about that.
Yeah.
Before the match.
I had no.
But I would have been surprised if Orton won.
I had no preconceived notions that Randy Orton was going over in that. I was all but sure that Cody Rhodes was walking away. And
but I have a feeling that they'll roll that back once he has the belt, or if somebody else has the belt or whatever before Cody, they give it to Orton so he can get his 15, and then Cody beats him again, or something. I don't know.
Cody can fuck himself. We were out when we were out in the boat yesterday. Me and my buddy Chop was out there. I think you met him on my birthday.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah. You were coherent this year, but no,
I was coherent this year, but I'm terrible with
year.
names unless I talk to you on the regular.
Yeah, but we were, he's a huge wrestling fan. He comes to the shows, and we've always watched pay-per-views together. We were talking about Cody, and Trey's like, "Give me your phone, Dad." I'm like, "All right." So he puts on the Negro icon Cody Rhodes song, and so we sang the whole thing. And Chop, he'd never heard it. He was like, "Jesus Christ, this is fucking great." Have you heard that version of Cody Rhodes' theme song?
No.
Well, you know what? There's never been a better time than now. Here we go, folks.
Here we go.
We've evoked the name of Cody, so we have to play his music.
Wrestling has more than one black champion. There's melanin in his soul, Negro icon Cody Rhodes, doing it for the culture machine. When blacks are down, Cody's there, and he knows how to bring hair. The thing he puts his kid in regularly is cornrows. His father said, blacker the berry, the sweeter is the juice. When the took a piece of championship away, I felt defeated. But then when Cody won, those feelings went away. Those thoughts were heated. Cody, why he rose? Cody talks racism, man. What kind of
Ooh. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, that was great.
What I saw that guy was probably over a year ago, you know, and I'm like, it just became a staple of the show when we were talking wrestling. It's like whenever Cody came up, it's like that's got to be played at least once a night. So that's one of those things like herpes, it never goes away.
Oh man, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're lucky enough to get that every once in a while. Come back to visit us.
The Arabs had their chance to convert me to Muslim the only time in my life, a small window last night. All they had to do was send someone out as Cody was walking up the ramp. He jumps the barricade and just and just blows the fuck up, taking Cody with him.
In Minecraft. In
A creeper shows up.
A creeper. Yeah, and it's daytime, so he goes, yeah, Allahu creeper kaboom, and
I would be on the fucking floor. I would be on the fucking floor saying my prayer, chanting my prayer right now. That's all they had to do.
Yeah, good. I think we caught those. All right, thank God.
I think we got it. We're good. I think we're good. The sensors were on point tonight.
We're on point. On point.
The last match of the night was the undisputed WWE Championship. The champion John Cena defending against CM Punk, and the CM Punk humiliation ritual was concluded in Cena won.
I thought the match was pretty good.
It's fine.
And then we got a glimmer of Cena kind of like turning back to a babyface with them teaming up kind of and taking out Cena's dudes, and then freaking Penta coming out and Sami Zayn coming out to help as well. But then, you know, Seth he always got a fuck Punk. So
Seth fucking Punk. That sounds about right.
Yeah, pretty much
for Seth Rollins.
So we'll see how he gets back into the main event picture. Punk.
I saw Penta's fucking entrance last night, and he still did his little fucking slow walk.
Yeah, he did. It was like freaking Jeff Hardy juking to the ring to save Matt when he debuted in AEW.
I was like, this motherfucker. I don't know, man.
Well, speaking of Penta, did you watch SmackDown this week, right?
I caught most of it.
The part where he since Chad Gable, I guess, is out with an injury.
Yeah, he hurt his shoulder.
He did that move to him or whatever. But did you see who was in the background? Kaiser. So I don't know if they're going to be doing something with Kaiser, because he was like walking out and he's kind of like watching as it was happening.
The fact that they do stuff with Ludwig Kaiser and not
I know
Cross just backs up everything I said earlier. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, disregard everything you've heard from the panel tonight regarding the champions and SmackDown. The best part of both shows was Saudi Arabia booing all of the melanated folk. That was amazing. That was fantastic, and everything else sucked.
Did they boo Jade?
Yeah, they did boo her when she had the crown.
They did, but they were also dead fucking silent for her also, and that was a rowdy crowd. They were loud the whole night except for...
I was gonna say, from the highlights I saw, the crowd sounded like they were pretty, like they were into the show.
Those are highlights.
Yeah,
they probably piped it in for the highlight, because I watched it live and it was silent and they were booing. Like,
no, I didn't mean during her match. I just meant like overall. I didn't. The only thing I saw to her match was the finish, and it was it cut off as soon as like the pin was made.
They were rowdy for everything except her.
I would have liked to see.
I fucking love Jade.
I like Jade.
I know she's not good.
Trayvon
I know
with
she's not
tits. She's
Stop it.
Trayvon Martin with
No,
tits.
she is not. She is fucking gorgeous, bro.
I think she's gorgeous too. I would have liked to seen Asuka win, but I know they're setting up Jade to win the title, and then Bianca's gonna screw her over. I think.
Mayo Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
I want to go back to shit, I lost. Oh, Ludwig Kaiser just for just a second because I heard the rumor was that Tiffany Stratton and him she'd future endeavored. You know, they'd parted.
Oh, they're not together.
This is just what was reported before. No substantiation on my part to that. I don't have any inside sources. I'm just simply repeating something that I read in an article a couple days ago, and I just was like, I figured he would be getting released soon. Speaking of,
Otis,
what happened to Otis?
Did you get that article I sent you?
I didn't. I don't know if I had a chance to read it. Let me pull it.
He might not be coming back. They might be releasing him.
What happened?
Well, he's out with an injury right now.
So that means Tozawa
is a shoulder injury or something.
That means Tozawa is pretty much done for, because you're not going to keep Maxine Dupree with him because that.
No, they have Maxine basically with They've been having her with Natty.
Oh, that's right.
And what's his name came out and mentioned something about tag team. Who was it? Oh, Sheamus said something about them going for the tag titles or some shit. So Natty and Maxine trying to go for tag gold. I like one down chick, and then apparently to the chat means I like all down.
That's all it took. Draven was one. That's the gateway drug.
Yeah, man. Because then they always down, bro. You know, they always down.
Draven's over here going, I just need one more. Just give me that fix one more time. Purple Dragon. Purple Dragon.
Drool on it, baby. Just drool on it.
More of an Asian person, but yeah.
Yeah, so Otis, Otis being out injured. He's gonna, I'm looking at that. Yeah, elbow injury and expected to undergo surgery. No timeline to his return. Well, that's kind of like along the same lines as Zoe Stark. You know, are they ever going to?
She had her surgery. I guess she's good, but and then same with Liv. She had her surgery and it was a success. So
I know
she's recovering now.
I've seen some of Zoe's stuff on Twitter talking about her rehab. So, good for her. Hope her and Liv heal up. Otis too, man. He's a good character. That's the thing I like about Otis. They were pushing him seriously a couple of years ago, but it is what it is. The injury bug happens sometimes, but the show sounded like it was okay.
It was all right. I will say the Cody Orton match that opened the show, and it was kind of like lackluster of a match. It didn't get the crowd. They should have started with a match that would have got the crowd going to kind of build up to that match. But
yeah, you know who's good at getting crowds going? I'm sorry,
who?
The die back, the tiny mustache man.
Who's that?
Oh wait! By that tiny mustache man, by that logic, by using the logic of that man, you couldn't possibly. He's
talking about Gunther, right?
No, not at all. Almost.
Have Gunther go full white supreme. That's what they should do. Hilarious.
Gunther, I like Gunther. I do.
The whole.
It always trips me out when people are like, he's boring. I'm like, you don't understand wrestling. The dude's just a classic fucking heel. Classic foreign heel. I did like Imperium, but Giovanni Vinci was an idiot, and he hits on Tiffany Stratton when he's in a tag team in a stable with.
I thought that was Logan Paul that did that too.
It's fucking Logan Paul. He's gonna do whatever he wants. But Tony left. So
bye, Tony.
Bye, Tony.
Jesus.
And there's nowhere to go from here, folks. So we're just gonna say goodnight. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Manliness, Insta Regret, Keely Chow, Godzillionaire, Gap After Dark, Biscuits and Gravy. Let's see, Carl. Thank you, Carl. Anybody else and everybody I may have missed. Thank you, gang, for hanging out. If you're watching this on the replay, don't hold this against us. They were only jokes.
Yeah, of course.
They're jokes, not a dick. Don't take it so hard.
Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments what our uniform should look like.
Yeah.
If you have any good ideas?
Yeah. How much starch should we use in our collars? Until next time, folks. I'm Pete from Wrestling with Horror. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. We'll catch you on the next one. Remember, it's always better to burn out than fade away.